Remnant 2 is finally out, and I've been waiting for this game for quite a while now. Ever since it was first announced, I have just been waiting for when that release date trailer would drop, and that finally dropped earlier this year. And I got to play with the early access pre-order starting on, I think it was the 21st for me. And I loved the first Remnant game. Remnant from the Ashes was something that me and a couple friends have played, and we played the shit out of it. It was just such a fun time going in, doing all the different world bosses, and getting all the different weapons and items, all the different gear sets, and just trying to see any of the stuff that we would have missed, because since this game has procedurally generated worlds, you can go through the different level biomes and you can have different layouts and designs compared to what your friends might have and experience entirely different bosses. And that's one of the things that's always been really fun with this game, is even though going through an area and wanting to maybe help out a friend or something like that, you can have an entirely different experience. And I think one of the only places in the game that is actually just a set outcome in terms of the world layout, besides the game's opening 20-25 minutes, I would say, is the labyrinth, is the only other set layout in the game. But all four other worlds in here are just entirely randomized every single time. And when you beat the game, you can unlock an adventure mode as well. And that allows you to go through and re-roll certain worlds and maybe get different bosses you didn't have before, find different items for different builds and all that stuff that you could do. Speaking of builds and archetypes for the game, I think it's around 10 of them, because with the pre-order, you can have 5 default base classes. Then there's 5 other secret classes as well that you can unlock throughout playing the game and finding specific items and taking them back to Ward 13 to actually unlock those different archetypes. But there are many different options for how you want to play this game, and the number of rings and other amulet items as well that can help with different stat boosts and all that. I have 2 pages worth of rings, and I'm not even sure if I've found them all yet, and you can wear up to 4 of them. Playing with up to 2 friends is another fun aspect of the game, just being able to go in and go through these different worlds, experience the different bosses together, and sometimes get your shit just absolutely rocked on bosses that you weren't prepared for and all that. And this game is just, for me, it might seem a little bit biased because I just absolutely loved the first game and played the hell out of it. But this is a game where, especially if you enjoy, and I know everyone uses this term, but if you enjoy Souls-like games, the Remnant is just a more simplified and fun, interesting Souls-like game with guns. You have your own weapon modifiers that you can put onto your guns as well, that give your weapon different abilities, like shooting out healing orbs or shooting out like little micro missile things that split and target other enemies. And there's even specific boss weapons. When you kill bosses and take the items from them back to the ward, you can get these different guns that have just some insane abilities on them that do quite some ridiculous stuff. So there's just a lot to toy around with and play with in the game. And they changed it this time from, in the first game, you used to be able to do set bonuses with the armor that you were wearing in game, but now they removed that, and armor just has a weight and armor value as well as any resistances to different types of status effects within the game. And it's just one of those things where you have almost endless replayability with all of this. You can have 2 different archetypes equipped at once, and they can synergize really well with one another. You can mix and match all these different builds and have different roles played with you and your friends, or even if you just want to play through it by yourself. This game is still quite a challenging experience regardless, and this game is something that I would highly recommend picking up. It's just one of those things where this game doesn't get marketed too much. Same with the first one. It was made by Gunfire Games and published by Gearbox Studios, but they have had quite a hit on their hands with the first one, and I was really hoping that they would come out with a sequel, and I was very excited when they announced that they were later last year, I believe. And then that release date dropping and everything, I was just pumped to play this. And it isn't going to eat too bad into your wallet either, because unlike most next gen titles where their base price is $70, Remnant 2 is only $50 for the base game. And then if you want the Ultimate Edition, which includes just some bonus items as well as access to the Season Pass, where I believe it said they are doing 3 additional story DLCs with this game, then it's only $70. So it's, for the Ultimate Edition, the same price as just a baseline next gen title is, and you get hours and hours of gameplay out of this. I've only beat and played through the game one time so far, but with that one playthrough, I've already sunk over 30 hours into this game, and I just highly recommend anyone who's interested in Souls-likes to just give this game a chance. And I mean, it is quite the fun time. It's even more fun if you have friends, but you'll have a hell of a time even just playing it by yourself. And if I were to give this game a score out of 10, I would honestly give this one a 9. It's just quite a fun experience, so much that you can do with all the different world variety and character builds, weapon builds. All this stuff is just so much fun. The boss varieties, there's many memorable bosses in the game as well, but I don't want to spoil too much of that. And thanks for stopping by, checking out the video. Those are my thoughts and review on Remnant 2, and thanks for watching.